Hello YouTube, I hope you're well today and that you're avoiding the dreaded COVID-19. As you saw from the introduction, today I'm showing you how I made a Barista style steam wand for my model steam plant. Also, if you enjoy my videos, please consider giving them a like and subscribing, it really does help grow the channel. Back to the design, there's a few requirements we need to consider. It must work with the 60 psi line pressure of the steam plant. It should be able to steam 350 ml of milk in under 2 minutes, and it must be possible to submerge the jet below the milk surface for when aeration is complete. As you can see from the plans, the nozzles are really simple design. It consists of a long narrow brass section with a blind hole and two small 0.4mm holes for steam jets. It connects to the steam line using the existing connections on the steam plant. This is via a 1/4 inch by 40 threads per inch nut and a nipple connected to a 1/8 of an inch steam pipe. The threaded section is countersunk for the nipple to seat into. I added a taper because I didn't want any corners and I also didn't want it to be thin through the full length. This is where I made use of some GCSE maths trigonometry using SOHCAHTOA to work out the angle for the compound slide. This worked out to be 25 degrees. So with all that done, let's head to the lathe and turn some chips. I'm using some brass 12mm round bar from some offcuts that I had left over from another project. First I squared up the end and removed the remainder of a hole from the previous project. Next up, I added some permanent marker and scribed the depth of the screw thread. This section was then turned down to 6.35mm. I chamfered the corners and then using the tailstock die holder I threaded the 1/4 by 40 threads per inch thread. Next up I countersunk the blind hole and then drilled it 3mm to a depth of 35mm. I marked the depth of 35mm on the drill bit using some marker. Okay, now for the taper. I set the 25-degree angle on the compound slide and made the cuts. I then gave a light cut to the length of the nozzle and then, using some sandpaper, gave it a brushed finish. checked the length using the depth tool on the vernier caliper and then parted off the nozzle. I squared up and faced the leftover bar ready for the next project, and the nozzle was then flipped around in the 3-jaw chuck and removed the pit from parting off. I then filed off the corners to give a nice round profile. Next, I needed to drill the holes for the steam jets. I used a shim in the 3-jaw chuck to offset the workpiece, and then use the tailstock holder to do the drilling. Because it's just a small part and it's only offset by a few millimeters, and it's spinning at a relatively low speed, there was hardly any noticeable vibration. I used a pin chuck mounted in the tailstock to drill the steam jets. The tailstock is loose on the pin chuck, and I used finger pressure to drill the holes. I did have to remove the chips far more often than I was expecting, but that's due to the tiny flutes on the 0.4mm drill. And eventually I broke through to the blind hole. Once both holes were drilled, I touched the end up with some wet and dry sandpaper. And that is all there is to it. Now we can steam milk like a barista. Side note, it's actually really difficult doing latte art. Anyway, I hope you liked this really simple project to make a steam wand for my model steam plant. If you enjoyed the video, show your support by giving that subscribe button a click. Thanks guys, cheers, and I'll see you again soon.